Today's notes are over multi-step equations. This is part 2. The difference between this one is we have variables on both sides this time. So we have 3 steps. Distribute if needed. I'll put parentheses around here because if it has parentheses, that tells you that you need to distribute. So if you look at number 1, does it have parentheses? No. Therefore, you do not need to distribute. Step 2, simplify each side. When doing this, I like to cover up the left side or cover up the right side. I have 5y minus 8. Can you combine these two? No. This term has a y, this term doesn't. It's a constant with no variable. So there's nothing I can do on that side. Look at the right side. 3y plus 12. Can you combine anything there? You can't do anything to that side. You don't have any like terms. So step 3, move variables to one side and solve. It really doesn't matter which variable you move. You can move the 5y to the right or the 3y to the left. I like to tell my students to move whatever is easiest for you. Most people don't like to deal with negatives, so I'm going to move the one that's not going to make me have a negative. If I move this 3y over here, that's the smallest term, so it's not going to make me have a negative. So to move this 3y, it's a positive. So to move it across the equal sign, I have to do the inverse operation. I'm going to subtract 3y on both sides. 3y minus 3y cancels out. 5y minus 3y is 2y. Once I do that, I copy what I have left. So on the left side, I have minus 8. I'm going to bring down the minus 8. On the right side, since 3y cancel, I have positive 12. Okay, now it's a two-step problem. Once you move the variables to one side, it should be a two-step problem. And hopefully you've gotten really good with solving two-step equations, and this step should be automatic to you. You should know exactly what to do. So when you have a two-step equation, you're going to move your constant first. So look at the side that has the variable. In this case, the left side. I got to move that constant. Get rid of the term with no variable first. If I have a minus 8, do the opposite. Plus 8. Okay, bring down the 2y. 12 plus 8 is 20. Then divide. Y equals 10. Okay, example 3. Distribute if needed. Again, I do not have parentheses on this one, so I don't need to distribute. Step 2, simplify each side. Look at the left side, 7k. Can't do anything there. There's nothing to combine. Look at the right side, 3k minus 36. They're not like terms. I don't have anything I can combine on that side. Step 3, move the variables to one side. 7k and 3k are my variables. If I move this 7 over here, what's going to be left on the left side? Nothing. And you don't want that to happen. So I have no choice here. I have to move this 3k. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to minus 3k. 7k minus 3k is 4k. Equals, bring down a negative 36. In this case, I have a one-step equation. So I would divide. K equals negative 9. Number 5. Again, no parentheses. so I don't need to distribute. Simplify each side. Look at the left side, 12 minus 2u, no like terms, nothing to combine. The right side, 9u plus 45, no like terms, there's nothing I can combine. Step 3, move the variables to one side and solve. So I have negative 2u and 9u. Notice how I circled the negative. You might think of it as a minus sign, but minus sign, negative sign, in this situation is the same thing. That minus makes that 2 negative. So when I circle a variable, when I'm talking about a variable or a term, the sign in front of it matters. Okay, so I have a negative 2 and a 9u. So which one would make me have a positive? If I move this 9 over, I'll have to minus 9. So that would not give me a positive number. But if I move this negative 2, I would have to add 2u, and now I have positive numbers. Now, whenever you're moving variables, it really doesn't matter which one you move, you get the same answer. But most people like to do what makes the number positive. So 9u plus 2u is 11u. Now you're gonna copy everything else down. Okay, now again, once you're done with step 3, once you move the variables to one side, you should always have a 2-step equation, or sometimes a 1-step. So you're going to move the constant first by doing the opposite. So if it's plus 45, you're going to subtract 45 on both sides. (12 minus 45 is negative 33. Okay, now you divide. U equals negative 3. All right, number 7. On this one, finally, we have some parentheses. So when you distribute what's directly in front of the parentheses. So some people might think, oh, there's no number there, so that means I'm going to distribute this 5. No, you're not going to do anything with that 5 yet. We're just going to copy that 5x down. That's not what's going to be distributed. What's in front of the parentheses is a negative sign. So there's no number there, so I'm going to put a 1. That's what's going to be distributed. So I'm going to distribute a negative 1 to what's inside the parentheses. So negative 1 times x is negative 1x. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Okay, on the right side, what's going to be distributed? This negative 2. Make sure you circle the sign with it, because the sign matters. That's a negative 2. It's not a positive. So this 10, I'm not going to do anything with that yet. Okay, distribute negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 8 is a positive 16. Okay, step 2, simplify each side. Look at the left side. Is there something that can be combined? 5x and negative 1x. Combine those two. 5 minus 1 is 4. So 4x minus 4. Okay, look at this side. Is there anything that can be combined? Okay, I have one term with an x and I have 2 terms with no x. Well, these 2 terms that don't have an x, they're just regular numbers. They can be combined. What's 10 plus 16? 26 minus 2x. Okay, now we are going to move the variables to one side. So since this is negative, I'm going to add it to both sides. So 4x plus 2x is 6x. Bring down to minus 4. Okay, then you're going to add 4. It's a two-step at this point. Six x equals 30. Now divide. X equals 5.